I'm Kimberly from Fat Quarter Shop, and we started our YouTube channel about 10 years ago, and the very first video that still gets traction to this day is Jelly Roll Jam. It wasn't our first video, but it was like the first video that people actually liked and paid attention to, and it still is in our top 10 views at all times. So my team thought it would be really funny to make me sit here and watch that video. This video is gonna be totally different for me, so I would love to see all your comments and see what you think of it, to see if you want me to do more of these. And of course, subscribe to our channel so that you can see lots of quilt videos. So let's do this. Oh my gosh, this is such a cute little intro. I remember when we did that. I don't even know if we still use those. Okay, so first of all, the coloring on me is horrid. I look fluorescent. All of those fabrics don't look accurate. So the videographer we had definitely had something going on in that camera. I don't know what it was. But I do, oh my gosh, look, I still have Cajun shrimp nail polish. I've always worn that. And I remember this was like one of our first real tutorials all the way through, and I was trying to figure out what I needed to wear, and I bought that red dress. Now, I don't know why I wore that red dress, because nobody wears a dress when they quilt, and they certainly don't wear a pearl necklace. I don't even know where that necklace is. I think I wore that necklace because I really generally don't wear jewelry, so I think that's all I had. It looks like I'm using Bonnie and Camille fabric here, and I think they were pretty new designers at the time. Like, I don't think they were as popular as they are now, but I still use their fabric to this day. I remember being super nervous to do this quilt and super nervous on camera, and when we did this video, we had AC in the building, but it was super loud, so we had to have the AC off, and I remember sweating like crazy doing this video. It's so funny. My hands look the same, but that's about it. And I'm looking, and on that bottom right, I don't even know what those are. Those might be dessert rolls. Those don't even look like jelly rolls. I don't even know what that is on the set. That's so funny. That might be a pre-cut that doesn't even exist anymore. I remember when we first started videoing, everyone would ask about the Mega Mat, and they were like, what is the Mega Mat? I don't think anybody knew what that was. And then we had to because we don't sell it, and we didn't really know who sold it, so we ended up covering it with a logo or something like that, just because, oh my gosh, look at that old phone. Hot pink. That's when I had my phone was really protected, because at the time I had 2-year-olds. And that lipstick, that is not the color of lipstick I wear, so the camera was just off. And I remember here, I used to use Post-it notes. Because I used Post-it notes, I was like, that would look so ugly in the video, so we had these little labels made, and that's how we came up with alphabetties. And it's funny to watch this video, because that's when I used to use flower head pens, and I do not ever use those now, because now I think they're way too thick. But I still use this sewing machine, and I still use this foot. So my sewing machine hasn't changed, my thread hasn't changed. I don't use those pens anymore. And I think I used to sew with a longer stitch length than I do now. And it's funny seeing those letters that say sew, because we still have those. And we still have them on the set. And this set was the original Fat Quarter Shop set. We had it custom made. We ended up having to change it, just to change things up over time. I think we get better camera angles now than we did then. I don't even honestly remember who filmed this. I know it was an outside company. It's so funny seeing those pens, because I haven't used those in years. It's just the coloring in this video is just crazy off. And so to me, it's so funny that this video is still popular, because I would think we would get a ton of comments about how it's so off. Because you can see fig tree fabric in the back, and me and my sister fabric in the back. And I remember we were trying to figure out what to hang and how to hang it, and we kind of came up with that. It's still kind of tricky to figure out how to hang things, how to make the set work, how to make it kind of all go. Oh, that looks like a mess. Look how much younger I look. Lord help me. That's when I had little babies though, and so I was probably really tired, because my kids were all really little. I don't even think Emma was in kindergarten yet. I still use that same iron, so that's good. I kept that the same. My makeup looked good though. This is before the starch method. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is back when I would just take the can and starch as I went. So that's totally different than what I do now. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that I don't even remember exactly how I used to do that. Because now I starch everything and let it dry. I do wish I still had that starch. That starch has been discontinued and replaced, and I still love that starch. I don't have any of it left, but I definitely don't starch like that now. I let it soak. But yeah, that's before Lisa Bonjean came up with that method. And you can see our upper camera. I don't know where that upper camera was, but it was on my head, not the correct way. I feel like now everybody does the upper camera like we did, and you can see that's how we tried it to start, and we eventually perfected it. I still use that ruler. The rotary cutter though, I use the blue one now. So I think at the time, that was the only version available of the ergonomic, and so I didn't have my blue one yet, but now I use the blue one. The wall in the back right drives me crazy. It's so undecorated. And I don't know how many of these quilts we've made like over the years, but this is like a great quilt for like a gift. Like if you have a friend that has a baby, it's quick to just whip it up. And if you look at those rulers, actually that is the older Creative Grids rulers. They've been redesigned a little bit since then, and their markings are a little bit different. So that's even an old ruler that I don't even have anymore because they don't even make that anymore. It's just a little bit different now. I mean, they have the size, but not the markings are all different. And this fabric, I'm trying to think of the name of it. It was like Serendipity, or I don't even know what it was, but I remember I liked it. Oh my gosh, I was so young. That's the difference between now. That's the aging. I'm gonna tell my kids, look at me now and look at that. They aged me. And I still do that where I leave the middle of the jelly roll kind of left alone. I still kind of do that. I don't like to mess with the middle. But it's really funny to watch the old starching method. And now I don't flip my fabric as much. I kind of just cut on the other side. And I know that's dangerous, but I kind of have gotten used to it. So I even cut a little bit different than I did then. And like, it's kind of funny how we don't have any music behind me or anything. It's kind of like very low tech here. And that book on the top right, that's in a frame. That was one of our first books. Or actually it was our first book. I think it was our very first book. But I'm still trying to figure out those pre-cuts that are on the table, what those are. I don't know what that is. Maybe those are quilts that are folded up. I don't know what that is. It's funny. Oh, my kids are on the left. I still have that photo out at my house. Oh no, that photo that's on the left, that's in Kevin's office now. So they weren't babies, they were a little bit bigger. I still love that fabric. They should just reprint that fabric. Oh my gosh, this is obnoxious. Those are obnoxious. But that is exactly how we came up with Alpha Biddies, because it's obnoxious. And I needed a way to label my fabric. And you can tell we didn't have an upper camera then. And I think it's funny on the right that the door is showing, because that's ridiculous. And how we have a quilt hanging on the door, like what were we thinking? Like the camera angle is too high, it's not flat, it's way off. It's just funny because I've done so many videos that are better than this, and you guys still watch this video. I guess it's good though, because it got us to like, oh, we could actually do videos, like people might actually watch these. I do know on the bottom left, that's an Ann Sutton baby group that she did. And I still remember, I think I still have that quilt in my house. Okay, I still pin that way, so that's good. The best thing about this video was the fact that we made Alpha Biddies. I don't think I have that dress anymore. I know it would definitely not fit anymore. But the lighting, I mean, I look fluorescent. I still stack my fabric like that. Now this is before design boards, so this is before Lori had invented design boards. So I used to just carry my fabrics like that, and I'm so glad that now I do have design boards that I don't have to carry. Now, talking about breaking a pin, I broke a pin last weekend on my sewing machine, and it was crazy. It like messed up my fabric and everything because I didn't realize I had broke it, and I was still trying to sew with it with a broken needle. The music's nice. I wonder if we could still find this quilt. I bet it's somewhere at my house. Maybe we can find it, this quilt, because I definitely made a couple of versions of it. And this is when it was just me doing all this. So I used to make all the step outs, do all the little pieces. Now I don't have to do all of that, thank goodness, because then I would have like 4 quilts that were all the same. But I bet this quilt is somewhere in a closet somewhere in my house. A still chain piece like that, so that's good. So yeah, I think you can make 2, if I can remember right, I think you can make 2 quilts out of 1 jelly roll with this. It's just so funny seeing that starch because that's just not how I sew anymore. And now with the alphabetties, they're awesome because you can just lay them down. You don't have to unpin. You don't have to do all that stuff. Super cute. Oh my gosh, I was saying that 10 years ago. I still say that. I have to like re-record a lot because I'll say super cute and I'm like, okay, that sounds stupid. And this was actually before we did like animated graphics that would pop up, but I like this because you could actually see the layout. But now that we've been doing more the shortcut quilts, they're a lot larger, and so it's hard to do it this way. We don't really do it this way anymore, but it is awesome to see that at one time we did. Now all of that wouldn't fit on the table. We still use that same table. That's still the same cutting table we use. We just changed the background. We still have that in our office though. But those colors are still my colors, pink and aqua. And I still sew with the same designer's fabrics all these years later. Yeah, and I would actually sew all of that on the set and we would have to pause and wait. And so this video probably took 8 hours to film, where now I can film a video in maybe 1 or 2. Oh, and you know what's funny is I have a mic on. I don't wear mics anymore. Yeah, I remember I would have to take it off to go to the bathroom and I thought that was weird. So now we have like, I think they're boom mics or something. I don't know. We've definitely advanced the microphones. It's so funny. I would do all of that on camera. That's just way too much. Oh my gosh, look at that thread. It's still Arfield 2000. I still haven't changed that. And the 2.0 stitch length. Now I do more of like a 1.5. Because back then, that was when I never really pressed open ever. And now I press open more often, so I just leave a shorter stitch length. I try not to watch myself too much on the videos because it makes me self-conscious, and then I feel like when I do the videos, I get a little too self-conscious and too much in my head. I feel like back then I didn't really give as many tips. I think I was just so nervous about like, what do we do? Where does the camera go? Like I had to worry about so much like behind the scenes and what do I say? And I didn't have a teleprompter. I still don't have a teleprompter, but I at least have something that we keep notes on. It's not like a technical teleprompter. It's funny. Okay, do you see that the grab it moved? Okay, so we started with the blue grab it. Now we somehow have a red grab it. So I wonder if that was a different day or if I just got confused or something. Who knows? Oh my gosh, we're showing the ceiling? That's horrible. Look at that ceiling. That's like a really old building. You can tell I've gotten more tired throughout the video. You can tell like I'm kind of stressed. It's so cute though. Oh my gosh. Look at how the camera's shaking. Oh my God. I like how at the end now we have like, you can click to another video. So that's awesome. Because before we didn't have any videos to click to. Oh my gosh, I love that music. So cute. So thanks so much for following this big journey of ours for all these years. We love having you as a viewer. I would love to know kind of what you see as the changes and what you think of this video, because I'm sure a lot of you guys have been watching all these years. So follow along in the journey with me in the comment section just so I can see what you're thinking. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.